Hey guys, Greg at Best Choice Trailers. Today we're going to take a walk around an H&H 24-foot EXA. This is a 14,000 pound power tilt speed loader. This particular unit I wanted to show you today has the 102 deck with the heavy duty weld-on fenders and the deck extensions, the 102 deck extensions. Other than that, it's a pretty, I'll say, normal trailer, pretty common size. So let's start out up front. We'll show you what all it's got to offer. One thing I will point out, we're not hooked up front, so it's sitting down a little bit low. So it's not quite, it might be touching at the back, barely. But anyway, if you're hooked up to your vehicle like you would need to be to use it, you'll be sitting just a little bit lower at the back. We're not quite level too, actually. It looks like we're a bit nose down here where I'm at. But anyway, starting out up front, everything here, other than the 102 deck and the weld-on, the heavy-duty weld-ons, is all standard equipment. So you don't got to worry about, what comes with it. Adjustable coupler, standard equipment on the 14K. It's a 2 5/16 inch ball. 12K jack, also standard equipment on the 14K. And then the driver's side toolbox. If you do want a passenger, there's the mirror imaged for the other side. We generally always have those in stock. Power up, power down hydraulics. This is what I'll call our quote-unquote normal model. We also do some variations. Typically these, we'll do like a deluxe model that's got the extra box, a front rock guard, maybe an extruded aluminum floor, etc. So this would be, I'll say, the normal model, the standard model. One thing on the 14Ks and actually the 10Ks, you're going to go to an 8-inch frame. So you've got a 6-inch tongue. And then unlike a lot of, this trailer is kind of I don't want to say an oddball, but it's kind of a cross between, typically we would call a front pivot 2-frame tilt, a car hauler tilt, and then a 3-frame tilt, which would be a tongue, a main frame, and then a nestled bed frame. A trailer that's built with a gravity tilt, for instance, it might have a power upgrade. We would call that more of an equipment tilt. But why we say this is kind of an oddball, this is a heavy-duty trailer, especially the 14K GVW 2, to where this acts like a car hauler tilt, but it's not. It's a little heavier. So call it an equipment tilt, call it a car hauler tilt, your choice. By default, we call trailers with the front pivot a car hauler tilt. Now, some people would say, what's it matter? Well, it matters because, well, a couple things. I help with the website, so it matters where we place it on our website so people know, where to find it and what they can use it for. But the reason why I call this more of a car hauler tilt would be really right here, the fender height. So on an equipment tilt trailer, your fender height's going to be about 12.5 to 13 inches. On a car hauler tilt, you're going to be more like about 7 to 8. So this would allow it to be used with most cars in the market. We actually had a Corvette C8 on this about a year ago, and you could open the door without taking a fender off. And obviously on this, you're not going to take the fender off because it's weld on. So a car trailer tilt is going to have straight axles versus a equipment tilt is going to have drop axles, which are going to raise your fender height. That's the most significant difference, and this is why we would classify this on our website as a car hauler tilt, even though it's a 14,000 pound GVW. So it is built kind of heavy. It's got the 8-inch frame. It's got the 6-inch tongue, and then it's also got 6-inch underbridging. Typically on the car hauler tilts, it's something you wouldn't typically see. One nice thing about the hinging, it's actually hinged inside and out. And then on the 14K, this has a 4-inch cross member. So that is structural channel. On the 10K, it's going to be 3-inch. And most of the industry, you're going to see 3-inch. H&H is the only one I know that's going to do a 4-inch cross member on this trailer. And that's roughly on a 14-inch center. As far as tie downs, we've got rub rail, stake pockets. The stakes alternate roughly, I'd say, about every 22 inches. We can do D-rings. We do it on some. We haven't done it on this one standard again. This is I don't want to say base trailer, but it's not as deluxe as some of the other ones we've got. It doesn't have the extruded floor and the rock guard and some of the other features. So this one here, if you need D-rings, we can add them. We also keep stake pocket D-rings. It'll drop down in any of the stake pockets on the trailer. So some might say, what is the 102 deck, or what is the Outriggers, or some might call this a buggy hauler? It would basically be that aluminum. So typically on most trailers, your trailer's going to stop there and everything that's wood's going to be what you've got. That would be about an 83-inch trailer. With the aluminum outrigger, you're going to jump to 102 inches, and it's basically going to take you out flush to the outside of the fender. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. You can actually do a removable fender, and a removable fender basically would stop there, and in that case, you would literally be driving over the tires if you do the removable fender setup with a 102 deck, or in this case, we've done the heavy-duty weld-on fenders. Now, H&H, from a legality standpoint or whatnot, doesn't call these drive over. They just call them heavy-duty weld-on. Take it for what it's worth. We haven't had a failure yet of anything that was, well, I haven't had a failure yet, but certainly I'll say anything that reasonably should be going over these doesn't seem to be an issue. Skid steer, something like that might be a different issue, something that's got more concentrated weight, but buggies, UTVs, all that sort of stuff haven't presented any problems. Being a 14,000 GVW, it's going to have an 8-lug wheel. It's a 235 80 R16 load range E 10-ply radial tire. Notice the fender does have a center support prop. It's also plated a lot thicker, supported at the back, fully welded, etc. This unit's going to weigh in about 2,500 pounds as equipped. It's a little bit heavier than the 7-wide. 7-wides come in about 22. This is a pressure-treated 2x8 deck. You can also get the optional extruded aluminum floor. This is a 24. Most common on a 14K is going to be the 22 and the 24 foot. Just depends on your preference as far as length goes. 24, you could pretty much cover any long bed truck if you need to haul trucks. Also ideal if you need to get, say, 2 full-size UTVs. Again, if you do want that extra box, carry those that would go opposite the existing box. Some of the most common options I've already addressed. The toolbox, we can do wireless remote. We keep those in stock. The rock guard, swivel D-rings, extruded floor, spare tire and mount. Those would be, and a winch plate and or a winch. Those would be your most common options for this trailer. If you have any questions on this or any of your other trailers, feel free to give us a shout. 717-220-4220, or you can visit us at bestchoicetrailers.com.